Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. And we do have an update to share with you here about this synagogue attack in Manchester, England. We are learning from the Greater Manchester Police saying they can confirm 2 people have died following the major incident outside the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregational Synagogue. And we also do know 3 are injured as well. So if you are just joining us on Live Now from Fox, I have been sharing the active scene here as this investigation does continue, and we have been getting information here quite quickly. So to recap, if you are just tuning in, we are sharing this breaking news with you. 2 people were killed, 3 others seriously injured today in a synagogue attack in northern England on the holiest day of the Jewish year, which is Yom Kippur. The suspect is also believed to be dead after being shot by officers, but that couldn't be immediately confirmed because of concerns he had an explosive on him. And that's according, once again, to the Greater Manchester Police. A bomb disposal team was at the scene as well. This all took place as people gathered at the synagogue on Yom Kippur. And we did also see here in a series of posts on social media, just for a bit of a timeline perspective here, Greater Manchester Police said they were called to the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue shortly after 9:30 a.m. by a member of the public who said he had witnessed a car being driven towards members of the public and that one man had been stabbed. Shots were fired by firearms officers minutes later as well. Police initially said 4 other people were being treated for injuries caused by both the vehicle and the stab wounds, but they later updated the number of victims to 5. Police had declared Play-Doh, which is the national code word used by police and emergency services when responding to a terror attack, but that does not mean it has been declared a terrorist incident. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he was appalled by this attack, and additional police officers would be deployed at synagogues across the UK. And here is that post there from Prime Minister Starmer. We also have been sharing just some brief comments there from him that we did get a little bit earlier as well. And I'll play those out here in just a moment in case you did miss it. And we do know that he is flying home early from a summit of European leaders in Copenhagen, Denmark, to chair a meeting of the government's emergency committee. We're also hearing from Dave Rich of the Community Security Trust, which is a charity that monitors anti-Semitism in the UK, and saying Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the Jewish year, as we have been sharing here. And he said it's a very solemn day, and synagogues across the country will be full throughout the day. He says that there is, quote, always a significant security operation in place between police and the trust across the Jewish community on all major Jewish festivals. So once again, this breaking news update that we are bringing to you here, as we do know now that 2 people have been killed and 3 others now seriously injured after this synagogue attack in northern England. And as I did just share with you here, we did get some very brief comments here from Prime Minister Keir Starmer. I did want to share those with you right now.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency COBRA meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed to synagogues across the country, and we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe. I've spoken to Mark Gardner of the CST and Andy Burnham, Mayor of Manchester, and I want to thank the emergency services for the speed of their response.
And so, as we did just hear, there more police presence is being deployed across the UK there, as we are now taking a wider look here, a chopper view of the scene here this morning. Still a very active investigation. We did see witnesses, a group of people who were outside the synagogue just a short time ago as well, and they were sharing their experiences as to what they saw. So we're going to continue to monitor this here, but a sad update to bring you here this morning. We now know 2 people dead, 3 injured after this attack. We'll be right back.
Good evening. This is Evening Sky. I'm your host, Sky. And what you just saw is what some people in the YouTube community and the haterverse like to call little hats. I don't like the term. I think it's not. It doesn't apply because it applies to a lot. There's little hats in Christianity. There's little hats in Islam. And there's little hats in Judaism. So we have to be careful with our wording. Salute, Holly. I just took off your banner. I just fixed your banner. I have a better banner for you. It's going to be updated. So thank you very much, Holly. Salute to you. It's sad, we have to talk about some serious news, but I have to get to it. Yeah, so it's attack in Manchester and the UK. Very serious. 2 people were killed. Multiple threats and possible sightings of explosive devices around the attacker. On Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day of the Jewish calendar. Yeah. This is almost breaking news. This came out a few hours ago. It's probably around 1:00 in the morning there now. Yeah, it's probably around 1:00. Sometime I think it's 5 or 6 hours. It's either midnight, around midnight, or around 1:00 there. But it was earlier today in a synagogue. 2 people were murdered, and the first responders were probably some of the best, because there were probably more casualties, more fatalities if they had not arrived in enough time. I think the person was neutralized, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make 100% sure. Synagogue. I'm looking for synagogue. They call it a terrorist incident. Suspect shot, dead. Okay, so the suspect was neutralized. According to Reuters, which is pretty much a standard bearer for news. What's up, Wizard? What's going on? How you doing, sir? Have you been watching the Insanity in the UK? That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is all related to the insanity in the UK. If you're talking about the same thing, you're talking about the synagogue shooting, Holly. That's what I'm referring to right now. I'm talking about the synagogue shooting on Yom Kippur. We in the haterverse, we talk about little hats, but like I said, there's Christianity, there's Zucato, and that's the Catholic faith, and under the umbrella of Christianity. General ongoing stuff. I'm not really abreast. You have to tell me a little bit, Holly. Tell me a little bit what you're talking about. What kind of stuff is it? What kind of ongoing stuff? I'm not really up to speed on what's going on in the UK. I've been trying to find out what's going on in the US. I'll be talking about that later. But she says, no, I didn't mean today. I meant the ongoing stuff. So I'm not sure about the ongoing stuff because I'm stupid. Lots of Muslim takeovers. Okay, I did not know that. I was not aware of the Muslim takeovers. This may have been a Muslim attack. They didn't release, too much information on the assailant. But I'll be looking for it. The protests and the immigration stuff. Okay, I didn't see that. I didn't see the protests and the immigration stuff. But I've only seen what's going on in the US. Brooklyn says Yom Kippur was just over now in the USA. Yes, it's just over now. Yeah, I think when it goes sundown, is that true? Sundown. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to move out of the USA. Well, it's one of the reasons why I don't want to move out of the USA either. This is still the noblest nation of all time ever devised. We have an original sin of slavery. That's something that can never be erased and ought to never be erased. It's like this, the red on the flags. and everybody has their own interpretation. Ronald Reagan had a different interpretation of the flag. I think there's a standard interpretation but you can deviate from it. Holly says, I hate to say it, but I feel like it might be a Muslim attack. I would hate to say it too, but things are pointing that way. I mean, why would they target them on the holiest day in the Yom Kippur calendar? Excuse me, the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur. It's just really, really hectic, really hectic. So 2 people are dead because of this. Brooklyn says there are extreme security procedures in place where I live. Okay, for what exists for you obviously must be from Brooklyn, so there is a large contingent of Jewish people who live in Brooklyn. There's a lot of the big hats. They wear big hats. See, that's what's weird about calling the small hats, because there's big hats. There's big hats in Christianity. There's big hats in Islam. They have the kafir, in the turban. Too early to know motive. Okay, yeah. My light's messing with me. Hold on. All right, we're good. All right. Yeah. So the Jews. It's the Jew. Just say the Jews. There's nothing wrong with saying Jewish people or Jews. They're great people. Just individually speaking, you have Albert Einstein, you have Oppenheimer, you have just a whole Mel Brooks, you have Dr. Yaron Brook. I mean, there's just a whole list of people that are just really great Jewish people. They just happen to be Jewish. They're not necessarily have to be practicing the religion. They just have, ancestral connections to Judaism. Oh my gosh. Holly says, imagine, I think she meant to say if big hat is where the word bigot evolved from. That's interesting. Yeah, big hat. Yeah, but they wear, they had the curls, and then they had the large black hats. Yes, Jewish people are great people. They're great people. And like I said, I don't want to single out individuals, because I don't want to just say, "Oh, Jews are all great." I like to single out individual people. I'm gonna see if I can go to another video. Not that. Let's see. Synagogue attack. Manchester. What's the latest? Let's see what the latest news is. Okay, let's go for this. I'll go here. Go there. Yeah, your son does have a good Hebrew name. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna mention it unless you mention it, because he's a minor. So I'm not even gonna bring in, any minor information. But yeah, let's just keep it at Noah. And your daughter's name, Athena. I know that. Let me see. Here we go. This is warning, graphic content, so be careful. Here we go.
Everybody else, get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay with integrity! Everybody else, he has the ball! Go away! He's got a bubble!
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency COBRA meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed to synagogues across the country, and we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe. I've spoken to Mark Gardner of the CST and Andy Burnham, Mayor of Manchester, and I want to thank the emergency services for the speed of their response.
Okay. So, Holly, what is your beef with Starmer? Why don't you like, is it Keir or Keir? I think it's Keir. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, of especially England. I always get it mixed up. Britain, England, UK. They got a lot of things going on. So, if it didn't happen in the United States of America, we got to learn to mind our business. Well, we have to mind other people's business so it doesn't happen in America. Because I was just about to say, it's all about the tool, it's all about the person, not the tool. The tool was a knife. You can cut your meat with a knife. You can, carve a wooden figure with a knife, or you can stab someone to death with a knife. It all comes to mind with who it is with the mind. Same thing with a gun. Depending on what caliber it is, whatever it is may be, you can hunt with it. You can defend yourself with it. You can do all these things. It depends on the context. It's all about context. Yes, they are both. Yeah, they're arresting people for online posting ish. Holly says. Zoran is awful. Yes, Zoran is horrific. Mondani is horrific. I don't know too much about Starmer. I only heard his name a few times before, and shoot, my mind goes back to this is gonna sound crazy, but my mind goes back to Tony Blair. Like I can't, and then I know they had like 3 or 4 people after him, but he's the one that comes to my mind so much because I was really paying attention to the news before I was doing this show when I was like in high school and stuff like that. I was on the newspaper and I had to pay attention to a lot of news. But yeah, he was like, they always say he was like George Bush's butt buddy or something like that. It was crazy. It was wild. Tyler Robinson is American product. He meant to say of the USA. Exactly. Good point. Tyler Robinson is an American, and he used a weapon. He used a firearm, which you can use on you can use on targets. You can use for target practice. You don't have to kill anybody with a firearm. You just want to do target practice. Doesn't mean you should get rid of guns. There's no reason why we should get rid of guns. And look what happens in the UK. We just saw today a stabbing because they don't have guns. So they have to use whatever is next, closest to them. Closest thing is a sharp edge and a blade. They have a bigger illegal problem in England than we do. I mean, I like to say it like this now. Illegals, they're criminals. But who is the president? A criminal. So he knows what it's like to be an illegal. He technically is an illegal himself in the White House. I know you're going to disagree, Holly, but that's the facts. That's the truth. I only care about productive illegals. If you're producing, if you want to make your life better for this country. And most of the illegals are people that really want to make a life that's better for themselves and their families. She said, "Oh, you're so silly." The ones in England are not productive, she says. Yeah, I can kind of see that. There's no. I mean, it's not the fat of the land. America is the fat of the land. I mean, it's the land of opportunity, but it's the land of maximizing opportunity, not equal opportunity. Maximizing opportunity, creating situations for people to grow, creating situations for people to prosper, to thrive, to flourish. I mean, can you get that in UK? Yeah, it's a lesser extent. It's not as in your face, strong, underlined, bold, in all caps, 88 size font like America. UK is like, yeah, well, our best days are behind us. We're kind of like, stringing ourselves along like what the United States does, and we really can't compete with the United States because they're much bigger, stronger, more powerful. So we have to make do with what we have, I like how she says you're so silly. She wants to say you're so stupid, but she's being polite. So they just had that Tommy Robinson protest, and Ireland is protesting too. Didn't hear about Tommy Robinson. See, I need to get on my other news stuff. I just get hit, what's going on in the United States. Let's see, this Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson, furious as trial ditch jury judge only verdict set. What is with Tommy Robinson? Let me see. It's Stephen Christopher Yaxley Lennon, better known as Tommy Robinson, is a British anti-Islam campaigner and one of UK's most prominent far-right activists with a history of criminal convictions. He was a member of the British National Party, a British fascist political party, from 2004 to 2005. Okay. So what happened? What did he do? Did he do anything? Met officers suspended over undercover documentary showing alleged support for Tommy Robinson. Huh. See, I have to get on my world news stuff because I'm not adept to all this. I'm seeing what's going on in America with the shutdowns and the raids, and I'm just updating almost completely what I said earlier this morning. Holly said he led a big march. He's a big mouth in England. Okay. Far right. There's a very big Muslim takeover of Europe. Yes, there is. And that's the sad part, It should be secular. It should be completely secular. Atheist, I would imagine, but I'll take secular. Secular is fine. Western civilization is secular, actually. A lot of people say, well, no, it's the Christian church and they established so much rule over the different nations. No. Western civilization is about science, reason, the Enlightenment. That's westernized civilization. That's the civilization of the West. Reason, enlightenment, science, thinking, not ascribing to a deity or deities that don't register on the existence scale. But that's the power of the United States as well, because you can believe whatever the hell you want to believe. You can believe in a Christmas tree and worship it all year round. You can just put it in your house and say, Christmas tree bless you or something. I don't know. It's goofy. It's really goofy. But this synagogue attack is just ugly, disgusting, disturbing. Shouldn't have happened. 2 people dead because they want to practice their own religion. I'm totally against religion, but I'm not against people practicing their religion. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying when I say that? I said I'm against religion. Well, I should say faith. I'm against faith, but I'm not against people practicing their faith. If that's what they want to do, and they're not hurting anybody else, they're just to themselves. So be it. Go on, do what you got to do. Just as long as you're not hurting anybody else, you're not creating a fear. I would suggest that you not. I will scream until I'm blue in the face. For you to be an atheist, someone that doesn't have to believe in something that's not there, that is never there, will never be there. Holly says, I don't like Muslim at all, but I do not want to live under Muslim rule. They don't want secular, Scott. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I'm not against, the faithful. Like, they have their own language. They have their language. They say, I'm against the sin, not the sinner. So I'm against the faithful, the faith, not the faithful. You understand? No, what the hell is that? So they definitely don't want secular. And for people in my family that are for, people in Gaza, they call them Palestinians, but where the hell is Palestine? But anyway, they were the same people that were yelling and screaming and clapping and dancing literally in the streets when 9/11 occurred. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? Do we not remember when September 11, 2001 occurred? The same family members, same people, same ideals that were being tossed around during that time. They were happy and dancing all over the place. Yeah, they even had the kids dancing, Holly said. Yeah. So where is that now? Why are we all Gazans, all Palestinians? Oh, they're so weak and poor and little. And Israel's big and mean and nasty. Like, it's almost childish. It's disgusting. Israel, they had a war called the Yom Kippur War, and then they had the 6-Day War. Or I don't remember the history. I'm a student of history, but I get my dates mixed up. So I think the 6-Day War, and then it was the Yom Kippur War. But either way, there was an instance where Israel was looked at like how Palestine and Gaza is looked at now. It was looked at as the weaker, lower, it can't defend itself. We got to help it. You're going to, it's all for Israel now. Yay. And then they got, got some nuclear weapons, had, technology, and prospered and thrived and flourished. And it's like, Israel, we can't go for Israel. They're big and powerful and strong, just like people of this country. People don't like this country. They don't even like the flag. Sadly, some people in my family don't even like the flag. It's crazy, but it's true. So so nobody wants to talk about that though. In October 7th, 2023, completely a travesty, tragedy all the way around. But they want a ceasefire. Hamas wants a ceasefire. How Hamas going to have a ceasefire? How do you even form your lips to say ceasefire? Yes, parts of my family feel that way. It's true. And I tell them all the time, I didn't die for the Marine Corps flag only. I died for the American flag. If I were to die in combat, I would have died for the American flag. They don't put the United States Marine Corps flag on my casket. They put the American flag on my casket. That has to be said. And then they get quiet. They're like, oh. Where did that come from, Sun to Sun 90? Is that from a sketch comedy show or something? I can't remember. They hate us because they ain't us. I can't remember who said that first. But somebody said that first. They hate us because they ain't us. You have to tell me. You have to tell me. Salute to you, sir.
Dozens of federal...
Okay, I gotta take this video back because I'm going into U.S. news now. Something I should have said earlier. But I'm gonna go away from the synagogue attack. Salute to the first responders. Salute to even Starmer. I mean, get him together. Salute him. So he doesn't mess up everything. He doesn't bungle the whole situation and lead to more deaths. definitely remember this synagogue attack. Doesn't matter how many people were killed. Maybe, it was only 2 people. That's 2 people too many. So just remember that. All right, here we go. We're going to start a new video.
Dozens of federal agents from different agencies raided an apartment building in the city's South Shore neighborhood early this morning. Neighbors there report multiple arrests in this latest immigration enforcement action. The people who live there are telling our Sabrina Franza that American citizens were briefly detained. She is live for us on that scene right now. Sabrina?
Marie, inside this building behind me, many of the doors are boarded up after they were broken down during that early morning raid. Now, law enforcement sources tell us that taking American citizens briefly into custody just for their safety is standard protocol, which is what we're hearing happened this morning. Neighbors, though, who were in the middle of all of this say they are shocked to have been treated this way.
They asked me, was I a U.S. citizen? I told them, yeah. I was born here. It was real tight, all right up. And every time I moved, it would hurt.
Patricia Fisher says she was detained by federal agents this morning, claims she was held for hours in a van with other neighbors at 7500 South Shore Drive, while agents confirmed her identity, citizenship, and confirmed she had no active warrants. She describes the scene as she says children were also let out of the building.
No shoes. The kids that had no pants, no shirts or no pants on, they just treated us like we were nothing.
He said he had warrants for 5 people. I said, so why are you detaining the whole building? He says for the safety of our people.
Ebony Watson watched and filmed what she saw.
And all you see is this whole block full of budget rental cars,
showing a massive show of force and rental trucks used in this mission alongside ICE, FBI, and other federal agencies. The FBI called it a, quote, targeted immigration enforcement operation. Are they at the property? Because we're here. We tried to find the property manager. No one would meet with us or give us any information about what happened.
It's crazy. It felt like we were under siege last night.
Meantime, this Chicago neighborhood is grappling for answers.
They brought a baby out completely naked and wouldn't allow the mother a chance to clothe her child. It's distressing.
Now, we've reached out to ICE, DHS, as well as to Customs and Border Patrol for more information on what exactly happened this morning, who was detained and why. We're still waiting to hear back from them. Live in South Shore, Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is doing its job to arrest violent illegals in Chicago. Now some numbers coming in since the launch of...
All right, it's a totally different video. I might get to it, but I'm trying to find... Something with James Franco. I'm trying to find... I think it is Pineapple Express. I think it is. Or that North Korean movie. I'm trying to remember. See, this isn't fun. I'm trying to find a movie and it just says clip. What is that about? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to do the Diddy sentence yet. I don't do any predictions. Oh my God, this is awful. But it's Seth Rogen and Franco, James Franco. I'm looking up here. They hate us. I'm looking up something for just a moment. Just bear with me. It's gonna get on my nerves. Yes, God. The Interview. That's where it comes from, The Interview, among other sources. Your political articulation has a great perspective. Thank you, Christopher. And before I forget, while she's still here, did they support your Marines career? Yes, they did, to an extent, yeah. They did. And they still do, but they don't support the country. It's a weird dichotomy. It's a weird thing. It's like, I'm for the military, I'm for the police, kind of not really for the police, more for the military, kind of not really for the military now. Like it's just goofy. It's really weird. It's a weird thing. But let me get my banners up. Go to Z Therapy on YouTube for all your Zumba needs. Subscribe to Holly Correnti. Hope you like that. Also, visit .focus, that's DOTFOCUS, 1_ on his YouTube channel, and subscribe, like, and comment. If you enjoy Call of Duty and other first-person shooters, you will not be disappointed. Tell him that Silly Sky sent you. Also, visit LifeStrongApparel.com for your raw CMOS needs. Also, after making your selections, type in Skyler20, SKYLER20, as a promo to receive 20% off your purchases. Tell Mr. Peng Silly Sky sent you. Also, visit Beha Jackson's YouTube page and subscribe to learn more about sardines on the grill, fried chicken, near beer, and female strippers. Adult